Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We're looking at our budget target removal. This is the second video on the added mechanics. So these are more specific, more niche ones that will not be ideal for every deck, but decks where they can do work, they're going to do a lot of work. First of all, by budget, as usual, I mean $2 or less than the TCG market value, and not a sponsor, no. So why use these? Target removal is an important part of every deck, right? You need something to deal with specific problems. Board wipes are good. Usually you want to use board wipes to kind of reset the game, or the game state at least. Target removal is more about actually dealing with problems. It's not about just setting everything back to zero, right? So they kind of do different things really, but anyway. Sometimes you don't want to blow up everything with a board wipe. You just need one specific thing off the board, like Revelant Riches for me on Monday. Last Monday. Anyway, but okay. Yeah, these are scalpels instead of dynamite. I thought I changed that part, but okay. Oh, here you go. So this list will be focusing on enchantment and artifact removal, just like last time. I think that is the important thing to look at with targeted removal, because creatures you can kill in combat, you can kill with damage, you can right? They're probably the easiest things to get off the board, so when you're looking at targeted removal, think about what you can't get rid of otherwise. Anyway, this list is going to be targeting removal that's beneficial with particular decks and mechanics, right? So this is the list where I'm looking at very specific mechanics that will work well. These cards are not going to fit into every deck. You should not put these cards into every deck. I'm not suggesting them for every deck. Sometimes people are like, oh, that card is really bad for this deck. And it's like, yeah, it is. Okay, these should be used with synergy in mind. Yeah, if it synergizes with your deck, it's going to be great. And if it doesn't, it's just kind of there. Okay, honorable mentions. Artisan Sorrow. Destroy target creature artifact. Scry 2. We're looking at Arwen Undomil, a Scry commander. So she would make good use of this as well. If you've got other things to get bonuses from scrying, then this is like a fantastic card. If you don't, then it's Scry 2 isn't bad, but Anyway. Crack Open. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Create a treasure token. I do like Crack Open just because it's like, I'm going to destroy your artifact and now I get, like, if you destroy someone's mana rock and then make a treasure, it just feels like you're being really mean. But anyway. An Appetite for the Unnatural. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 2 life. This is, even for the honorable mentions, this is like the most boring one, I realize, but what it is good for is like if you've got a deck where you've got a lot of life gain decks have things like if you gain 3 life, everyone loses 3 life, or your opponents all lose 3 life, or gain 3 life, draw a card, something like that. So if you want to make sure you're going to be able to make that kind of hitting 3 life gain, it's really good for that. Otherwise, it's 2 life gain you don't really care most of the time, but it's still an option, and all of these are under 10 cents. I think what really stands out is that these are not the greatest cards, but they're all so cheap. Even by budget standards, under 10 cents is crazy cheap. Okay, first of all, Over the Edge. For 1 and a green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Target creature choose 1, or target creature you control explores, then explores again. This is kind of like not really ramp, I would say, but it will hopefully get at least 1 land into your hand. So it's like securing land drops and getting +1/+1 counters. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that get bonuses from Explorer, so I have never built an Explorer deck, so I'm not really familiar with it, but it is one of those newer mechanics that probably has a lot of support for it. Anyway, that is 4 whole cents. Stormcelt Vanguard. This is an adventure, a green adventure. Green actually really likes adventures. I think that's one of the strongest colors for adventures. So I love this mechanic also. But anyway, if you don't know, basically it gives you 2 cards on one. It gives you an instant or sorcery you can cast, and then you can cast it as a permanent after. It goes into exile in between, which kind of protects it from a lot of effects. So it's nice to have. Anyway, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Bear down because it has a bear, haha. Anyway, 1 and a green. And then for 4 and 2 green, it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and it's a 6/7. So this is a very strong creature, or a fairly strong creature, that does have like built-in evasion. I do love the built-in evasion. If you give this some other kind of evasion, it really probably will not be stopped. But anyway, 9 cents for that one. Canker Bloom. One thing I really like about this is that it gives options. Like, I feel like modal spells, because of a Riku of Mini Pass, are really popular now. But I was actually making a big list of modal spells before, and now everyone's like crazy about modal spells. So I'm like, oh, should I bother? Anyway, rant over. Canker Bloom, 1 and a green for a 3/2 creature. Sacrifice Canker Bloom and choose 1. Again, you have to pay 1 mana, so that's another kind of downside there. It is a 2 cost mana for 3/2, so that's not bad. Destroy target artifact or destroy target enchantment. Great start. And again, abilities can be used at instant speed, right? You don't have to use this at sorcery speed. Finally, proliferate. Proliferate, again, choose any number of permanents and or players and give each another counter of each kind they already have. So if you've got any kind of counters deck, +1/+1 counters, or whatever it may be, if you're doing infect, you can give all your opponents an extra infect. So that it's a really amazing card, actually, and it's only 35 cents. Binding the Old Gods. Alright, so this is 2 and Golgari, which is black-green. The first step is destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. So this I really like. It is sorcery speed effectively, because you can only cast the enchantment on your turn. But since it's a saga, it's going to do 3 different things on different turns, right? So you could get kind of 3 spells in one, which is very good economy. I think a lot of people don't like it just because it does take time. But anyway, step 1 is destroy target non-land permanent. Again, anything you want that isn't a land, you can destroy. Just by casting this on your turn, some things, whatever hassle you've got, you can take care of. Doesn't matter. Creature, artifact, enchantment, whatever it may be. Anything but a land. So very good start, actually. And the second one is search your library for a forest card, put it into the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. A forest card. Not a basic forest, a forest. So if you've got a triome with a forest keyword on it, or land type on it, I should say, you can fetch that out with this. So this can actually get a whole bunch of different things. There's plenty of cheap dual lands that have like the actual key, or I keep saying keywords, basic land type listed. So it'll say forest on it, so you can get any of those. This is actually a really good card. Again, just those 2 effects, destroy target permanent, and then search your library for a forest card. Those usually cost 4 already, right? You are paying 4, which sounds like a lot, but the first 2 effects I think are worth 4 easily. And then, number 3, it gets 1 more effect even. Creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. So just all of your creatures have Death Touch for 1 turn. That's incredible. Just swing with everything, and if they block, they die, right? Just, no worries. Especially if you got like Vigilance or First Strike, I guess is very, very good. But anyway, alright. Oh, sorry. 39 cents for that one. 39 cents before I forget to say the actual price. So what is your favorite budget removal card is what I'm wondering here. Also, please hit like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. It really does. So far, it's going great. More is always better, you know? Hopeful Initiate. Okay, this is the one that really stands out to me. I was digging through old cards and I found this card like 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, now I'm going to build a deck just because I have this card. Anyway, it has training. So whenever this creature attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it has an ability that lets you put +1/+1 counters on it without really doing much. You have to attack. You don't really want to attack. I would not plan to use this as this main source of +1/+1 counters. You want to have a bunch of other stuff that gives it +1/+1 counters. Really, this is only really good in a deck where you can make them pretty quick and easy. Anyway, for 2 and a white, remove 2 +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. Again, the counters do not have to be on him. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. In a +1/+1 counters deck, you can pile them up pretty quick. And for 3 mana, you can just start using removal anytime you want, right? This is like 3 is not the cheapest, but 3 and 2 counters, I guess, is definitely not the cheapest, but it's repeatable, right? You don't have to tap in to do this. You can do this as many times a turn as you have mana and counters for. So that's just like all the kind of target removal for enchantments and artifacts you might need in a game. This guy can do himself. Anyway, 157. The list. Over the Edge, 4 cents. Stormkeld Vanguard, 9 cents. I feel like that's really hard to say, but anyway. Canker Bloom, 35 cents. Binding the Old Gods, 39 cents. I said it right this time. I didn't add of. Hopeful Initiate, 157. Hopeful Initiate has actually dropped in price. Once again, why? Why did it drop? Do I not know something? But anyway. Alright, take it easy.